The UK has been in a mental health crisis for years now, but what are support groups doing to help improve mental health across the UK? Well, many are using sport, or more specifically football, as a vehicle to improve mental health. One of those organisations are Freedom from Torture. I spoke to Harman Sirchich, who runs a football group here at the Arsenal Hub with the organisation.
Partnership between Arsenal and Freedom from Torture started in 2012. I wasn't involved with the group at the time, but I believe that there was an initiative to offer English lessons to our clients at the beginning of this partnership. So the people from Arsenal would come and offer English lessons to our clients, to take them out, to see places, to build up their confidence, and also to teach them more colloquial English. And I think at some point there must be that the idea occurred that they could start a football group as a result of this partnership. So our clients come to this place, which is a safe place for them to start building a relationship as well as building a trust with people who are involved here, which is so crucial in the process of rehabilitation. It also reported that the clients improve both physical as well as psychological well-being through engaging in the football.
We then went to Toga Social at the O2 to speak to Madeline Harlow from the London FA and Kerry Phillips from Saving Souls FC to see what their organisations are doing for people who are struggling with their mental health.
So the London FA support lots of initiatives to support people that play football or are involved in football and their mental health. So we have a partnership with the Mental Health Vault, which provides lots of resources to help clubs talk about mental health and support people with mental health conditions. We also have the South London Grassroots Mental Health League, which regularly hosts tournaments and competitions for people living with a mental health diagnosis. And we also support lots of mental health teams like Saving Souls, who do really great work allowing young men and young women to come and play football, talk about their mental health and be part of the community. So this is a partnership that came about a few years ago, kind of off the back of a realisation that there isn't enough support within the football world to support people's mental health. There's definitely been a kind of historic culture of toxic masculinity in football, and it's really important to break that barrier down. So yeah, that's how that came about. So we're also linked to a few charities. So on our webpage, you can go onto the mental health section and find lots of support charities, whether that be for you or to signpost to people in your team or your club. We've got some really good partnerships with charities that are really important to be able to access. So places like Samaritans, Mind, things like that.
And what different ways can playing football help improve someone's mental health?
So many different ways. For starters, it improves your physical health, which we know then has an impact on your mental health. It's also important for your mental health because it gives you an opportunity to be social, to see people once a week, to have people check in on you, be part of a team is really important. And we actually know that not just for mental health, we know that grassroots football saves the NHS about £340 million a year. So it's hugely important to be a part of football and do something for your health, which in turn can also help your mental health.
Hi, my name's Kerry Phillips and I'm the founder of Saving Souls FC. We are a mental health football team that uses safe spaces to reduce the isolation and loneliness with the prevention of mental health and the improvement of well-being. It was created in 2021 during lockdown. In 2020, I was having conversations with a lot of my friends and I realised that a lot of my male friends were struggling and not actually speaking about it. So what I wanted to do is provide a space where, how do I put us in a room where we're all going to talk and we're all going to play football without actually worrying about it being the whole mental health aspect. So football was obviously the main thing that will bring us together. I wanted to create a space where at first men can play football for free, as I think that for some men football is a safe space, But I also wanted it with the aim of providing a safe space for prevention of mental health and the improvement of well-being. I know for me personally, mental health has been something that I've struggled with, and I know that football is a universal language, so the way to get men to speak was the reason why I created it. So we do quite a few things. So although we're a football team, we're actually a hub as well. So we provide safe spaces through football. We actually have a women's free self-defense class. We've got a men's forum, a women's forum, food bank. We've got a project that we run in Deptford for our young people at the estates, which we're actually playing some Toca Social at the moment, back to school haircuts, and we've actually just launched our women's mental health team, which is sponsored by Octopus Energy, so we're really excited about that.
And what more do you think football clubs and organisations should be doing to improve mental health?
I think it's creating more awareness about it, highlighting it, and providing those spaces for it. Especially in the younger game as well, where there are a lot of young men that are getting released from clubs and not knowing where their next steps are. I feel like there needs to be some form of provision in places within the clubs where, if for example you're struggling with your mental health and you do get released, that there's a pathway to kind of keep you on. I think Palace do it at the moment actually. I think Palace were one of the first clubs that provide you a pathway where they continue to help you with 6 months on. So I think more things like that, more initiatives and more spaces within the club that they can feel safe to talk about their mental health and their well-being.